The last video I recorded, bro, I'm not gonna lie. That shit pissed me off so bad, bro. I've been talking about it for like 5 minutes, bro. That shit just blew me. So we gonna start this one off. I shouldn't need no emotes or nothing, cause this one of them insanity videos, crime videos type shit. So shit, as you can see, man, we got bro right here. Let's take this blinker before we get it started. 3, 2, 1, go. In case you're wondering how it works, man, you take a hit after I say go, and then you stop the hit when bro leaves. We got Dr. Insanity's Police Discover Human Body in Suspect's Trash Can.
Whoa! You gun? She's in there.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God, she was in the trash can.
Is that home? You here?
Police are at the home of Keith and Amber Zotto. Amber's mother, Betty, had called 911 earlier that day, asking officers to check on her daughter. Amber hadn't responded to any calls or messages in 2 days, and Betty feared the worst. The officers arriving at the scene initially expected a routine missing persons call.
What the hell is that thing?
Inside the house was far more twisted and disturbing than anyone could have imagined.
I got the dog! Get him!
Oh, God, that blinker hit me a little hard, guys. Oh, Callie.
When police first arrive at the Zotto home, they encounter something strange. Only Keith and Amber's children answer the door, claiming their parents are gone and they don't know when they'll be back. This alarms the officers, so they decide to call Betty, the person who originally dialed 911, hoping she can shed some light on the situation. But what Betty reveals to officers would quickly transform
Betty
this
looks
simple
like she gets in everybody's business.
welfare check into one of the town's most disturbing mysteries yet.
Thank God Betty got into this one.
Betty, it's Officer Crowley, Aurora Police Department. I'm at the Milan
Aurora
address. I'm talking to the kids. What's your relation to this family, just so I know?
I'm their grandma. She didn't take her truck because you can see it in the driveway.
Right.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
That would throw you off. So this their grandma. So grandma needs to be in their business no matter what. 'Cause that's grandma anyway. You gonna call grandma and tell everything.
Still in the house?
Yeah. Betty, how many times do you think she's done that?
Well, she's come over to my house. Oh, 3-4 times this year.
Alright.
But it's always been for a day.
So what I'd like to do is start where we always start, and that's the last place she was seen. I don't want to ask these kids for permission to go in the house, so I may have to call your son-in-law, talk to him on the phone, and see if they'll give me permission to go inside.
Yeah.
Betty would mention
Shout out to the officer for being a real ass nigga, bro. He cool.
that she had been
Good
to
officer,
the
man.
house earlier that day and noticed a few strange details.
Somebody get
Amber's
that nigga
car
name.
was still
Give
in
him
the
his props.
driveway of the
Give him
home,
his
and
flowers.
her phone was
Years
left
later.
inside the house, as well as all of her credit cards and important documents.
So-
these minute details would prove to be much more important later on.
I'm saying, niggas, there's certain things that nobody leaves the house without. Nobody leaves the house without their phone, because you can always pay for anything off of your phone. You can always text somebody. You can always do something off your phone. So nobody leave the house without their phone for real. Bank cards is one of them, but you could leave the house without that. Wallet, purse, you don't really ever leave the house without that purposely for. Like, that's just, you always supposed to have that on you type shit.
Shortly after this call,
Licensing.
Betty and her husband Ronald arrived at their daughter's home to
Grandma
meet
and
with the
granddad,
police.
grandma and
It's
granddad right here.
where Betty would reveal what she believed really happened to her daughter.
Hey, I'm Officer Crowley. Thanks for coming out. So I called him, but I left him a message. He didn't pick the phone up. So I can't just go inside without a warrant. I'd either need a warrant or his permission to go inside the house. And that's not your residence, and I can't ask you for permission. Obviously, the kids are too young for me to ask for permission. So just want to do it the right way before anything else, if that makes sense.
Sir.
Yep.
When's the last time that you saw the dog?
Saturday afternoon when I came to pick up the kids. they spent the night with me.
She's a Peyton Manning
Is
friend.
there any problems at that point, or is it
No.
just pick the kids up? The kids are gonna stay at her house for the weekend.
Everything was fine.
Grandma's house for the weekend,
And
man. We
she
finna eat
said,
grandma's
"If you
shitty
feel
cooking.
better, we'll see you
Do whatever we
tomorrow."
want because grandma don't care.
Pretty
Had there been
It's
any
all
drinking
good.
at that point for the
No, heck no,
kids?
they
No?
drink in the evenings.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then no sign that there had been any argument or anything
No.
like that.
No.
Okay. As you can see, I don't want you to
No,
think that I jumped in.
She said they drink in the evening. They drink in the evening, but I don't think they drink and beat their kids because their kids seem cool. The no nigga that came to the door, he seemed cool and he out on the road and shit. So let them comfy.
According to Betty, the family typically had dinner together on the
Know what I'm
weekends,
saying?
and
They
although
not-
Keith and Amber occasionally argued, things never turned physical,
See?
at
Yeah,
least
they not,
to her
man.
knowledge. But with no parents home, officers still couldn't legally enter the residence, so they continued
They're not the
speaking
worst
with
of the
Betty,
worst, they're just
hoping
bad.
she'd reveal something that could explain Amber's sudden disappearance.
Oh God.
Betty explained that Amber was highly active in the community, volunteering at her children's elementary school
That's
as
good.
the treasurer of the parent organization, and
That's
everyone
great.
around town knew her as a family-first mother, spending most of her time with her children. That's why Amber's disappearance
Shout
was
out
so
to Amber.
puzzling. It simply wasn't like her to spontaneously leave her kids alone. But this confusion would only heighten when Betty showed officers something that made the case even more unsettling. A note suggesting Amber might have harmed herself.
The note is what concerned
Do you mind
us.
if I read that?
I don't have a problem with
Is this
it.
a copy of it, or is this?
Yes, I made a copy. I don't know. This is the original.
Okay.
I didn't want to.
Just from my report, I'm gonna have to take the original for evidence for
Oh.
property at some point. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm gonna sit and read this in the meantime.
The note Betty had discovered earlier read in part,
I haven't been the best wife. I deserve everything and all the horrible thoughts you think of me. I have
What the
always
fuck?
had in my mind. Make sure my mom has to identify my body. Everyone would be better off without me.
No. I read the first part of that. I haven't been the best wife. I deserve everything and the horrible thoughts you think of me. I don't know, man. Somebody asked Mom, is that how
First
she writes?
glance, the note appears as a tragic, heartfelt goodbye.
Nah, that's not no tragic heartfelt goodbye, man. Hold on.
Amber
And we back. Oh, bro.
out
That's not no
despair
fucking
and
tragic goodbye
emotional
letter,
pain.
man.
But something about this note didn't align with what police knew about Amber. According to her mother, whenever Amber and Keith
I unlocked
fought,
the Sharingan
Amber
from
always
slamming
stayed
the
at
nigga
her
that tried to
parents'
backdoor
house
me.
and had never just disappeared. Certainly not without
back
contacting
door
her
unlocked
family
the Sharingan, and I
first.
got the
And although
Mangekyo from
Betty
slamming that nigga.
clarified that her daughter had a history of self-harm ideation and
but,
emotional struggles,
nah, I
the
see through
note's
that shit.
tone
She's-
sounded
nah, she
off,
didn't write that.
especially the disturbingly specific instructions for her own mother to identify her body, which seemed strangely cruel. To investigators, these unusual details hinted at the chilling possibility that the note wasn't exactly what it appeared.
Oh,
They
God.
began to suspect Amber might not have written these words freely.
I don't
Something
think so.
wasn't right.
I don't think so,
Based on
man.
these signs, officers decided to speak with Betty again. This time on the
I don't
oddities
think
found
Amber
inside
needed help
the
for real.
note.
I think
Do you
her
think it's
husband
something
needed
that-
help.
Would he harm her in any way? Would you have any either information or inkling that that might happen? No. Okay. If she had walked away, I mean, I'm just wondering where else or how far she could have gone.
She has walked to our house. We're in 7.
Yeah.
When she's been drinking and temper.
Oh,
I understand.
God.
Of course.
She's made
I
it that
agree.
far.
That's why I'm so concerned. too.
And that's where,
Yeah.
that's why I searched Sunrise.
I'm with her
Because
dad,
that's
man.
the
I'm concerned that he might
closest
have
part.
did something to
And
her.
I don't know why in my head it's, you're not gonna do it in your home. You might do it with your father.
Oh man. Oh God.
Betty would also find the note strange, but doesn't think Keith would have anything to do with Amber's disappearance. At this point,
Why you
nothing
trust
makes
Keith
sense.
that much,
So,
man?
without any further clues, officers decide to move to the next step in their investigation, searching the property.
What you got that much trust in Keith for?
As we know, without the homeowner's permission, officers still can't go inside the house without a proper search warrant.
Factual statement.
Fortunately, by using the kids, they were able to get on the phone with Amber's husband, Keith, hoping to get the permission they needed.
Right.
Dad,
The cops are here and they want to talk to you.
is this Keith? Dad,
The cops are here and they want to talk to you.
I'm looking around the background shit.
Yes, this is Keith.
Keith, this is Officer Crowley with your police. How are you?
I'm alright, boss. How are you?
I'd like to go over a couple series of events and then ask you for permission if I could go inside your house. And
yes, sir.
Where we start searches is the last place she was seen, and that would be your house. But I don't have a warrant, and I'm asking you for permission to go inside your house too.
Go ahead, man.
Alright, that's the last cut, bro. We're gonna go ahead and watch this video fully through from now on. That was the last cut. Yeah, he did it. I know he did it, but I'll see what happened, man.
Luckily, Keith seemed to have no problem letting officers search his home. While one officer continued his conversation with Keith, another would immediately begin searching the property, completely unaware they were both minutes away from uncovering the horrifying truth. But before we continue, it's worth noting that covering stories like this, you realize just how much people are forced to carry. Fear, trauma, even the day-to-day burden of surviving. And sometimes that weight shows up in other ways too, like debt. Do you feel crushed by debt? And find the best insight.
So you gave verbal consent for us to go in the house. I'm just gonna go in. If you want to come with me, I will, because I'd like you to show me. Okay.
I'm really poor when you start paying on the credit card though.
In the garage.
That means you can't pay that shit back either.
Okay, let's start there.
So I ain't super poor. I'm poor.
So Keith, in a bigger picture, what's going on?
Man, me and Amber drink a lot, and we fight a lot, and she likes to walk away, or actually drive away, and I took her keys from her, so she couldn't drive away. She grabbed her purse, slammed her phone on the ground, and left, and I have not seen her since.
Did you actually see her leave, or you just assumed she left?
No, sir. I begged her to stay on the couch. We fought a little bit more, and I said, well, whatever, Amber, you sleep out here on the couch, I'm going inside. And I went inside. I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then when I woke up at 9, 10 o'clock Sunday morning, there was a letter on the fucking coffee table.
Has she ever threatened to hurt herself in the past, or was this... Oh, she has.
The last 5 years, it's been her go-to. And that's what I try to tell her grandma and grandpa, too, is she does this to me all the time, almost every weekend. She'll leave, and then she won't come back till Monday or Tuesday. And then my kids get all mad at me because I let her back in.
I hope you don't mind me asking you personal questions, but is it possible she's seeing somebody else and she stays there?
Oh, for sure she is. She's been, that's another thing. That's why we fight all the time. She's been seeing somebody for about 5 years.
I don't know, man. Everybody's saying she's family oriented.
We don't pay our bills. That's why we always fight, man.
You're a dude,
Based
man.
on Keith and Betty's statements, both were aware Amber had struggled emotionally in the past, but neither realized just how serious the situation had become or how tragically wrong their assumptions would soon turn out to be.
Where exactly was the book when you found it? Right there. Okay. And you recognized her handwriting?
Yes.
Okay.
It's unmistakable.
Okay.
Okay, so let's have her
argument, I mean, you guys are arguing about her seeing somebody, or were you guys arguing about lots of stuff?
Well, that always comes into play, but this particular argument was about her not paying my mortgage for 6 months. I give her all my money. I just cash my check and she pays all the bills. And lately she hasn't been paying her bills.
Hey Keith, did it get physical at all, or was it just arguing?
Yeah, we've been physical a couple times, but I want to say Saturday night, no.
You know, this is a fair question. Is there any chance that you hurt her in any way?
I fucking hope not, dude. I fucking hope not. But yeah, there's a possibility. I mean, I'm hoping not, but like I said, I don't remember shit. Me and Amber go through this shit all the time, and she always comes back.
Okay.
The only thing I'm worried about is she always goes to her fucking mom's house. She doesn't go anywhere. She does go somewhere else, but she always ends up at her mom's house.
Listening carefully to Keith's account, the officer initially found him credible as he described an argument about money and Amber's alleged infidelity. But the officer's concern grew when Keith admitted he'd been heavily intoxicated and couldn't remember if things turned physical. Suddenly, the possibility that Amber hadn't actually walked away became disturbingly real. Officers now suspected more clues were hidden inside the home. A drunken...
Shit like this is so sad because those kids lose both their parents in one incident, man. They gotta go through the rest of their life knowing that shit. Shit's
fight,
crazy.
maybe getting physical. Whatever happened, the answers were likely somewhere inside.
Lord Jesus.
He gave me permission. I have it on my my body camera. Recorded it. Okay. He gave me full permission to look in the house. So.
Bro, getting drunk doesn't make you forget what happened.
Are they generally friendly?
No, normally, yes.
Okay, good. Just because, did we look in there?
It doesn't open.
It doesn't look like it's been disturbed because there's debris on the top of it, but you want to work on opening it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
What?
As officers continued their search, their body language indicated something was off.
wrong.
Careful not to alarm the family, neither officers openly acknowledged it yet, but they both recognized the unmistakable stench hanging in the air. The odor of decay.
Oh,
At this
God.
point, the only thing they were looking for was
That's a
the
nasty
source
smell, man.
of that disturbing smell.
She's been there since Saturday.
Finished off up top? You were kind of like a flash.
No, it's just that. Hanging.
It's right here.
Oh God.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Gun.
Oh.
Magazine.
Oh no.
Do we want to call someone? Yeah.
1 second.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
There's that. Oh God. Oh no.
We'll have you stay inside, please.
1 second. She's in there.
Jesus Christ.
Inside the trash can in the garage was a gun, and underneath that was Amber's decaying body with a gunshot wound to the head, discarded with the rest of the garbage. This was now a crime scene, and police immediately began to suspect
But how did he
this was
shoot her
far
without
from
anybody knowing?
self-inflicted.
But when I searched the house, my fear was, something funky. I looked in that trash bin.
Okay.
There was nothing in it.
Well, when was that? When did?
I was here about 9 a.m.
Okay.
What time is it now?
There was not. I would have noticed that.
Okay.
The top was the carpets, and because of the smell, I literally
I'm just gonna
too
stay
many
here.
forensic files. It was not there. So somebody's been here,
Okay.
and the kids were sleeping, and they are unaware of being here.
Okay.
But so somebody
Wait, what?
did that.
Okay.
Ready?
She seems quite calm.
What's your first name? Ron. Can you get the kids and just go wait in your house?
Strangely, although Betty had noticed the same foul odor of decay earlier, she didn't realize its implications, instead believing, or perhaps choosing to believe, that all this concern was simply because of the firearm police discovered in the trash can. Betty didn't know it yet, but her statement would soon cast serious suspicion on her, making detectives question whether she herself had played a role in Amber's death.
Right, what?
For now, though, officers had to secure the area.
That
and
nigga
move
got that
Amber's
spray
family
ground
away
bag.
from
That bit hard, little bro.
I don't want the kids to see.
I mean, this isn't missed.
Jesus Christ,
So
man.
if you lift here,
R.I.P. Amber, bro.
obviously there's a gun there. But if you lift here, you can see her foot. She weighs about 160, 170 pounds. Right there, where your hand is. See? There's the body. Yeah. So I called Reno. He's calling MCU, and I know he sent you too.
While officers waited for the Major Crimes Unit to arrive and process the scene for forensic evidence, they began to grapple with several troubling inconsistencies surrounding Amber's family. Keith had admitted to being heavily intoxicated the night Amber disappeared.
Right.
He couldn't say for certain whether his argument with Amber had turned violent,
That's what I'm
only
saying. I
that
don't
things
trust
had
that
gotten
nigga.
heated, and that much
don't
of the
trust Joe
night
Budden,
was
man.
a blur. But Keith wasn't the only one officers considered a suspect. Amber's mother, Betty, claimed she had checked the trash can earlier that morning and had seen no sign of Amber's body or the gun. Yet, just hours later, both appeared right there in plain sight, exactly where she swore she'd already searched. Even stranger to officers was Betty's demeanor. Despite the horrifying situation unfolding around her and the possibility that her daughter had taken her own life, she remained unusually calm, at times even casual. And then there was the note. Supposedly written by Amber, its wording struck investigators as strange, too composed, almost performative. Still, in a situation as dark and desperate as contemplating suicide, people sometimes write in ways that defy logic or expectations. At this point, everyone's stories seemed suspiciously incomplete, and anyone could be responsible in the eyes of detectives. Investigators started realizing that Amber's murder might be far more complicated than they initially thought.
These niggas are idiots, bro.
So, to investigate these disturbing possibilities, police knew they'd soon need to sit down with Amber's family and carefully interview each member to uncover who might be hiding something. But before doing that, officers needed to finish
that kid's
one
about to
crucial
find out her
step,
mom just passed
a final,
away.
thorough search of the Zotto home, carefully looking for any signs of violence or attempted cover-up. And sure enough, it didn't take long before they started noticing blood spatter throughout the house.
And the kids didn't notice?
Carpet pieces. No. I wonder if the carpet went all the way back. Or, I mean, I didn't see like spatter.
I know, right?
So the book was right here. There was space open with the last page showing, and that bill was on top of it. No red pen. Jet blood on the light switch. We've got a lot of blood on the sink.
And you're telling me these children didn't notice that shit? I would have came outside and been like, what the fuck is going on?
You know, the way the door was when we searched. But yeah, she found a little bit of obvious blood in the kitchen and the sink as well, too, so.
Within minutes, officers found clear evidence that something violent had occurred before Amber's body ended up in the trash can. Their first sign that foul play was likely involved. Additionally, the Major Crimes Unit documented critical forensic evidence, including the silver revolver found over Amber's concealed body, blood spatter around the trash can, and debris deliberately placed to hide her remains. Despite these findings pointing towards foul play, detectives still needed clarity on whether Amber's death was a premeditated act or the result of a heated argument that spiraled violently out of control. But they had two major issues preventing them from answering this crucial question. First, Keith was nowhere to be seen, and his phone had gone completely unreachable. Second, and most important, detectives had yet to determine exactly who was responsible, because at this point, several people remained under suspicion, including Amber's mother and even her own children. Police didn't know it yet, but in the coming hours, these questions would be fully answered, and the case would take a completely unexpected turn.
Oh Lord,
so,
like
to
what?
fill in these gaps, all of Amber's closest family members were transported to the police station
Her
for questioning.
son, daughter, mother, and
Detectives
father.
hoped
My
they could
Lord.
uncover each member's potential motives.
If those are the 4 suspects in your murder case, you're fucked.
Credibility
That's so
hiding
fucked.
secrets, and finally reveal who might actually be responsible for Amber's murder.
That's so fucked.
I don't want
So
to
sick.
falsely alarm you.
That family
I'm
will
so
never be the
committed
same.
to being as honest as we can with loved ones. We may have found Amber.
No.
Yeah, but we're not completely sure yet, Ron.
Just do it. Just do it.
We're not pointing fingers or making accusations at this time.
I'm
Is
sorry,
there any
Ron.
reason Keith
Fuck.
would hurt her?
Oh man, it's so sad.
No, I really don't. I wish I could tell you more. I don't.
Either accidentally or intentionally, would he hurt or kill her? If he were to mistreat her, would she protect him?
She probably would.
So I went out there and I seen the letter, or it was a 4.5 page note. And it's very important.
Is she sneak dicking with her husband, bro? What's going on?
It had an ungodly trash odor, honestly. But I tried to, there's some carpet squares were on the top. I tried to lift up, make sure there was nothing under it. Not that, I don't know what I was expecting, but I did. So I absolutely looked in that bin. That'll be important. And didn't see anything, and I went out.
Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, the fighting and do you know why?
Yeah, I do know why.
Okay.
My mom cheats on my dad, and like she's not good at it, I guess. And like so he finds out, and then they just go at it because she like tries to lie about it. Like he has evidence of her doing it, and so like it's like yeah.
Okay. And the last
See that it's a really
just a couple
shitty
days
situation.
ago?
Yeah, last Friday was the last time I seen her.
Okay. Did you talk to her at all on the phone or anything?
No, she came over for dinner because my grandma was cooking dinner, and she came over and we had dinner, and then she left, and then yeah.
And then you were there
From
Saturday
Bro,
all the way to Sunday.
Okay.
After speaking with Amber's family, investigators finally had some clarity. Betty remained adamant she'd checked that trash can that morning, insisting the gun and Amber's body weren't there, which made her case seem more suspicious. Meanwhile, Amber's father, Ronald, was shocked by his daughter's death and found it was hard to believe Keith was capable of harming her. As for Amber's children, Annabelle explained they'd both been staying at their grandparents' house during the weekend, clarifying why they didn't hear the gunshot that ended their mother's life. However, Annabelle's unusual calmness and detailed awareness of her parents' unstable marriage raised some concerns about exactly what else the children might know or could still be protecting.
That's scary.
After concluding the interviews, investigators were preparing to search for Keith Zotto, the one critical piece still missing. But just before they could act, they received unexpected news from Keith's sister, Susan Russ. It turns out Keith had visited her just hours earlier, and what he confessed would finally expose the horrifying truth behind Amber's murder.
I saw my brother
Holy
park up there,
fuck,
and
she's
so I
hot.
got the dogs out.
Nigga, she drank. She said, "Wow." I'm trying. I shouldn't be joking. This is a shitty situation, but fuck, big gulp with the NyQuil. Oh my lord.
Just came in and I seen it on his face, and he goes, "You know I don't hate you." That was the first thing out of his mouth. And I said, "I know, I love you. You're my best friend."
Okay.
And then I said, "It's Amber that's trying to keep us apart."
Okay.
And he just looked at me, started crying. He said, "Oh my God, what'd you do?"
Okay.
And I asked him if Amber was okay. And then he looked at me and he said, "You know what? I don't remember anything."
Okay.
I just remember waking up and seeing her on the ground.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I asked him what the hell happened to tell me what he did.
Okay.
And everybody's trying to make it out like Amber's the bad guy.
He said they'd been drinking and fighting all night.
Okay.
It was over money, I guess. Keith opened some bills and found out that the house had been foreclosed on.
Okay.
Damn.
And then Amber
Damn, foreclosed. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. Y'all about to have to get the fuck out.
got the gun.
Oh, what?
And he hit my brother with it, and then Keith said he took it away. And it just happened like that. He said he blinked his eyes, and that was it. He said I blinked my eyes too, and then I opened them, and I seen her on the ground.
Susan's testimony finally cleared up everything for investigators. Keith himself admitted he'd woken up from a blackout to find Amber dead and openly acknowledged a violent confrontation that spiraled completely out of control. It was now clearer than ever that Keith Zotto was at the heart of Amber's murder,
But the
and it
mom
was
shit,
time
that shit is
to
not
track
making
him
sense either.
down. Just a couple of hours after detectives left Susan's house, Aurora police received a call they never expected. Keith Zotto had surfaced at his sister's house again, ready to surrender. By now, officers knew Keith had already killed once, and for all they knew, he was still armed and dangerous. So they came prepared. A SWAT team descended upon the location, ready to take Keith down if he made even the slightest wrong move.
This nigga got a gold scar. They on his ass.
It's gotta be up one more.
It's this one, right?
7-9.
7-9 is this one.
All right. Sorry. Ready? Watch out, Bubba.
Yeah, they got the motherfucking blicks on them. His bitch ass. Trying to kill your wife, you dickhead.
Front door. Ma'am, come to me.
Going out.
I see him. I see him. Come to me.
Going out. Turn right.
Point to me. Come to me.
I got a guy out.
Hands up. Everybody hands up, please. Very good. Walk to my voice. Go hands on.
Stop. Just you. Just walk towards me. Nice and easy. Okay? All right. We'll talk to you in a... No, we're not. We're not going to hurt him. Okay? Walk towards me. No. Just keep walking. Walk towards his...
Nah, he doesn't have a weapon. Just turn him around. Yep, just turn him around, put his hands behind his back, man. Alright, take your fucking gun off her. Hey, buddy, right here. You're wildin'. You're wildin'. Take your gun off her, man.
Yeah, feel free to go ahead and make her.
It all looks normal.
Bro, if you just want to hold it, I'll be back with you.
You guys good?
Is that your mom, and who else is the other lady? Gotcha. Okay, man. Very good. We appreciate you coming out, bud. We'll explain it all to you, okay?
I already know.
Okay, buddy. Okay.
Man.
Okay, there you go.
Remember much.
Finally, after hours of uncertainty, Keith Zotto surrendered to Aurora police without incident. He was immediately taken into custody and formally processed for the murder of his wife, Amber. Keith would go on to admit to killing Amber late Saturday night, claiming his gun accidentally went off during a drunken argument over money and infidelity. Though he insisted he couldn't remember placing her body in the trash or concealing the crime, Keith accepted responsibility for her death. However, Betty's earlier statement surrounding the infamous trash can remained unclear, and investigators were never able to determine why she didn't see the gun or Amber's body that morning. In May of 2021, Keith Zotto was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
R.I.P. Amber, man. Fuck Keith, man. Oh my God, man. You gotta serve out your time, bro. That's a sick situation, man. Shout out Dr. Insanity for the video, man. That's gonna end it off.